In full disclosure, I'm currently traveling and do not have my normal recording set up, nor a very soundproof area to record, so I apologize for the decrease in quality in this video. Star Wars Celebration has come and gone, but the excitement around Star Wars is at its annual high. With the release of the trailer for The Last Jedi, news of the Forces of Destiny stories, and the announcement of the Journey to the Last Jedi publication efforts, we are very excited about all the storytelling efforts that are happening. Let's dive right on in and discuss the updates to the Star Wars canon timeline, April 2017. In April, we begin with Marvel's adaptation of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, issue number 1, the conclusion of Yoda's Secret War in Star Wars number 30, the highly anticipated novel Thrawn by Timothy Zahn, the third installment in the Adventures in Wild Space series, Dr. Aphra issue number 6, wrapping up this first story arc, Poe Dameron issue number 13, and finally, Darth Maul number 3. Now let us take a brief look at where each of these stories fits within the Star Wars canon timeline. Prior to Episode 1, we have the release of Star Wars number 30, the final issue in Yoda's Secret War. Luke Skywalker begins to wrap up his understanding of the story that is told in the journals of Ben Kenobi. This issue starts to bring us back into the time of the rest of the series, but does wrap up this pre-Episode 1 story nicely. We also get a look at Yoda as he watched Luke from Dagobah, realizing that he is almost ready for his training to begin. Also this month is Darth Maul issue number 3. Maul has gotten his hands on a Jedi Padawan with the help of a group of bounty hunters led by Cad Bane, but their acquisition of this prize is not going as smoothly as they would like. Fast forward to the vast time frame between Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith and 4 A New Hope, we have the release of Adventures in Wild Space number 3. As we continue to follow the adventures of the two kids in Wild Space, they head towards Lothal, where they come in contact with the Bridger family. Yes, the parents of Rebels Ezra Bridger. Though chapter books for young children, the canon connections in these stories are quite amazing. Let us not forget Thrawn by Timothy Zahn. An adjusted backstory for this character is told, giving us the canon's perspective on where he came from and how he rose to power in the Imperial ranks. We follow Thrawn from his initial contact with the Empire to shortly prior to his appearance in Star Wars Rebels. This story is not to be missed. We have the first issue in the retelling of Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Unlike the Force Awakens adaptation, there are several scenes in this adaptation that really add to the story, and this first issue does not disappoint, with more build-up towards the characters' current positions that we saw them in the opening of the film, such as Bodhi's conversation with Galen Erso, which brought him to Saw Gerrera. After Episode 4 A New Hope, we have the 6th issue in Marvel's Dr. Aphra series, as we see Aphra and her father work with the Imperials in pursuit of them to escape the dangers of the Citadel they have invaded. This issue has a lot of excitement as they wrap up the story and start prepping for the next. We finish up this month's stories with Poe Dameron issue number 13. The Gathering Storm arc wraps up as more mysteries about the relationship between Agent Terex and the First Order come to bear. Heroes come from unexpected places, and a member of Poe's squadron meets their end. Now to preview what is coming up this month. May is a big month for canon storytelling. We have the release of Guardians of the Whills, a story about Baze Malbus and Chirrut Imwe, Rebel Rising, a Jyn Erso backstory, Han and the Rebel Rescue, a children's adaptation of Smuggler's Run, Marvel's Rogue One adaptation, issue number 2, Poe Dameron, issue number 14, The Screaming Citadel, a crossover one-shot kicking off an arc spanning Star Wars and Dr. Aphra issues, Star Wars number 31, part 2 in the Screaming Citadel arc, Poe Dameron, issue number 15, and finally, Dr. Aphra number 7, part 3 in the Screaming Citadel arc. Please note that these dates are subject to change. That concludes this update for April 2017, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to keep up with all the insights and analysis found here at Star Wars The Canon Explained. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Leave your comments and questions about this story or any element of the Star Wars canon below. Till next time, may the Force be with you.